Okay, a very good afternoon to everyone. So, let us start our lecture 3. So, as of now, we have discussed about the whole syllabus and curriculum, what we're going to study about this subject, and we have gathered just a minute. And we have gathered some knowledge about the steel production mechanism. Just a minute. So let us continue with the whole processing of the steel manufacturing. So, okay, so from the raw materials like iron ore, limestone, coal, this raw material of the steel or the iron has been gathered. Then what happens actually in today's manufacturing process, the BOS process is vastly used. So what is BOS? BOS. So this methodology has been adopted vastly in these days. So what happens? The iron ore, so the iron ore, lumps, scrap, these are also some materials which will be incorporated in the batch in order to create a steel. So from the raw material, it will come directly to the blast furnace. So in this part of the mechanism, this is called the melting part. So this is called the melting part. Okay, so what happens in this part? So the raw materials are charged in this blast furnace where the temperature has been created about 1600 degree centigrade. So in 1600 degree centigrade, what happens? That raw material starts melting. Okay, so after achieving this temperature and getting the melted steel, the molten metal is then cooled. So that melted part is cooled, and it after that, that steel, that molten steel will be converted to pig iron. Let me clarify this once again. So after getting melt in about 1600 degree centigrade of temperature, that molten material or that molten substance will be kept uh, kept for cooling purpose, or that engineer will let that thing stay to be solidified. Okay, that solidified matter is called as pig iron. So that will go through this process. So this is what I have told, BOS process. The basic oxygen steel, it can be further refined. It will be refined in order to make the steel. So that excess amount of carbon and the other unwanted impurities, we will get the excess amount of carbon and impurities which will be floated off as a slag. So that slag part is also used in a concrete manufacturing process as a blast furnace cement. So using that slag, a blast furnace cement will be created after that, and that blast furnace cement is vastly used in which sector? In order to achieve the high performance concrete. Okay, so that slag will be differentiated, then the refining process will be done by this oxygen steel process. Just a minute. Steel process. And in this part, this is also called the LD converter as well. So this was invented in Austria in the year of 1953. Okay, so the converter, after removing the excess amount of slag, that molten part will be tilted into this pouring batch. Okay, and also in we will get the bolted part from here as well, so that both thing will be tilted on this pouring batch. So that pouring batch, one segment will be taken into the continuous caster, and one batch will be taken into the in order to form a ingot. Well, ingot, if I would like to explain, so you have seen a gold biscuit, right? A gold which are formed in a biscuit manner. So ingots are nothing, the ingots are like similarly like that, which is only changed with the material of steel. So that, let me just, so that ingots are quite like in the biscuit form, in a larger dimension. Okay, so this is how that ingot looks, that steel ingots, and the different part is diverted into the continuous caster. So a thread like or a ribbon like batch of steel will be processed from this continuous caster batching, just just in order to get as per its requirement. Okay, then that ingot will be taken into that soaking pits. Okay, so in soaking pits, there will be a several steps where the temperature will be differentiated in huge amount. So due to that temperature differential, there will be a stress developed, which is known as residual stress. So this stress have to be measured by the corresponding engineer at the batch. Then after getting it from a bloom mill, that section will be rolled in this process. So that rolling mechanism, let me show you this picture. As you can see, these are the roller. As you can see, these are the rollers. See that rollers are creating pressure in a certain direction, right? So pressing in that certain direction, we will get the actual shape and size of the steel manufacturing as per the requirement of the site. So you can understand that if you let go through this, if you let that steel material go through these holes, it will take this category of shape. Or if you let that steel material go through this roller, then the shape will take as per this pressure direction. So similarly in this way, so you can see you will get an I section from this roller. So okay, see this is given in a 3D view. So creating the pressure in a certain direction, we will achieve our required shape and size of the steel. Just a minute. Of the steel material. Okay, so this is the rolling process. So that's why you will get to know a different terminologies like hot rolled and cold rolled. So in during in a hot temperature, when the steel will be in a hot temperature, at that moment when that material will be rolled in order to get the shape, that will be called as hot rolled steel. So rolls used for shaping I and H beams. So here it is given. Okay. Next, let us come into the structural steel products. There are numerous application of steel in different sectors or different industries. But as a civil engineer, for in the purpose of creating our site. So the first one is flat hot rolled products like plate, flat bar, sheets, strips. So these are some structural steel products as categorized as a flat hot rolled products. This is the flat hot rolled. I will show you the pictures correspondingly. The second one is hot rolled section. This is only a rolled section, hot rolled. So it can be given in a rolled shape and hollow structural section. So I have the diagram of this one. I will show you that. Then comes is bolt. So bolt is used as a connection in a structural property and a welding electrodes. This is also made of steel and it will be used to create or to make a steel structure. So this will be required. This will be required in our studies. And then cold roll shapes. Okay, so let us go through some pictures, then you will understand. See, this is a diagram of hollow structural section. So this one comes under this hot roll section. So in several uses in a structural aspect, these steels are used for several purposes, like in order to make a stairs railing, these structural this structure are used, and also for piping used. Okay, next, this diagram is a hot rolled steel sheet and strips. So you have seen already this diagram, so you can relate this as well. So these are the sheet or the strips which are used in our structural construction purpose. So this comes under this flat hot roll products, this plate, flat bar, sheets and strips. And this is the diagram of steel flat bars. So these are also you have seen in a numerous structural requirement in our daily life. In a construction site, you might have seen this kind of a structure to be applicated, right? So these are called the steel flat bars. So we will be mostly, in this study, we will be mostly work with our connection material like bolt and welding and weld and the H shape hot rolled steel sections. Okay, so these are the type of hot rolled steel sections produced by steel products. So we are going to study about these shapes in this subject. So see, these are given in a 2D. So if I draw it in a 3D, so that structure will look something in that manner. So this is called wide flange. This is actually wide shaped flange section. So which part is called flange in this total structure? This is the flange. And this part is called web. Mean the intermediate vertical structure of this I section is called as web, and the horizontal part in the both of this web is called as flange. Okay, so this is called wide shaped flange section. This is this is not actually S shaped. This is actually S is termed as American Standard Beam, which is a I-beam section. This is a C-shaped channel. This is also called channel section. So we will go into these things in a vast way. This is L-shaped equal leg angle. This is L-shaped unequal leg angle. This is structural T-shape cut from W-shaped. Mean the wide flange section. This part has been cutted from this part only. So if you cut from this part, you will get a T section from this part only. So, and the rest of the parts are rectangle, square, round bars. Okay, This is plate. This is a plate section. So you have just watched all the side elevation of the individual structures now. So let us study about rolled beams. Okay, so rolled beams are classified as per Indian standard or Indian codal provision as these followings. So first one can be designated as junior beams, which has been written, which is written in our code as ISJB, which stands for Indian Standard Junior Beams. Similarly, ISLB is categorized as lightweight beams. So it is named as Indian Standard Lightweight Beam. Similarly, this ISMB stands for Indian Standard Medium Weight Beam. Similarly, this ISWB stands for Indian Standard Wide Flange Beam. Similarly, ISHB stands for heavy weighted beams, or it can be used as column also. So Indian Standard Heavyweight Beams. And the last one is the column section, Indian Standard Section Column Section. So this S is situated in a first place of C. Okay, so these are some typical standardized name of rolled beams or columns. Okay, so these are some given which I have just described in previous slide. This has been given with the full name along with it. Okay, so just let us look at the picture. This is a typical diagram of a rolled steel section, which is an I section. So if you can see the figure, this horizontal part is known as flange. This horizontal part is known as flange. Both this part and this part, and this is known as web. Okay, this is known as web. So here, this, you can see this height. So this is the thickness of the flange. This is also termed as TF, mean thickness of flange. This is also known as TF. Okay, and this vertical part is called web. So the thickness of this web is called as TW, mean the thickness of web. This is called TW. And see here, there is a certain amount of curvature you can notice here, right? So this is termed as R1, which is also called as, just a minute, which is also called as radius at root. So this also called radius at root, that R1. Or you can say this curve as well, this curve and this curve. This curvature is known as radius at root. Similarly, this R2 you can observe, this is named as radius at toe. Okay, so the value of all these designation is given in our code, in our handbook. So we will go to that in later classes. So these are some names which you should be aware. So this is a flange slope. That slope can be derived or can be given in the handbook. And this is the y-axis of the section, and this is the x-axis of the section. As you know, due to the symmetricity or this is a symmetrical section, right? So if you can fold in this way, if you want to fold this section in this way, or if you want to fold this section in this way, so in both way it will touch, it will get its mirror side, right? So this is a symmetrical section. So due to that, the center of gravity will be at the center part of the body. So that CG distance will be at the center part of the body. So if in a problem you need to evaluate this distance, so in which way you can calculate that? So if you know the distance, if you know that length, so that length is designated as B, mean the width of the flange. B is called as the width of the flange. So if this B is given, so if you want to calculate this part, so you can evaluate this as B minus this thickness T divided by 4. So you can get the value of this part only by this calculation. So it will come in our calculation. I will describe it in later on. Okay. So this is our I section, rolled I section. Similarly, let's check our next section, which is channel section. So under this section C, there are several names which has been associated as Indian Standard Junior Channel, which is the short form is ISJC. Next is Indian Standard Lightweighted Channel, which is ISLC. Next, Indian Standard Medium Weighted Channel Section, which is designated as ISMC. Next is Indian Standard Medium and Parallel Flange, which is also termed as ISMPC. Okay, see, this is called as channel section or C section. As you can see, the shape of this section is also like a C. So let us just study about this channel. See, this is this T, as you can see, this T is a thickness of web. So this is also can be termed as TW. This is the web thickness. This is also the web part of the body. This is also the flange part of the body. This is the flange part, this both thing, and this is the web part. Okay, so the thickness of this web is called as TW. This D, this is the capital D. This is known as the depth of the section. In previous case, I forgot to mention this. This was also the capital D, the depth of the total section. Okay. So as per this D, you can understand the designated name of this individual section. It will be given in handbook. I will come to that later. So this is capital D, and see, this is called here, this total, this is B. Actually, this will be capital B. This is capital B. Okay, similarly, this is called as radius at root R1. This is termed as radius at toe as R2. This is the flange slope, and if you need to evaluate this distance, so you can find out through by subtracting this length B minus this thickness. So you will get this one divided by 2. So you will get this distance. So this formula is given in this picture diagram only. So since this section is not symmetrical, this is unsymmetrical, right? If you want to fold in this axis, in revolving this axis, so this will not give you a mirror image. So this is symmetric in one axis, but in another axis this is not symmetrical. So the center of gravity or the CG of the section will not be at the center point of the section. So it will be somewhat in that part. See, here the x-axis of this section lies in this way and the y-axis of the section lies in this way. So that distance, this distance from this y-axis is termed as this cy, and the distance from the end of the section to the centroidal distance from y direction is termed as ey. Okay. So this is this also can be we will discuss about it in a descriptive way while calculating the problem and while doing the problems numericals. Okay, so the CG distance will be somewhat at this point. So the actual functioning or the mechanism of this total system will be collected from this point only, right? Okay. So the next channel, the next section is termed as angle section. So why does it call angle section? As you can see, this proper channel section, this proper connection, section is nothing but creating a vast knowledge of angle. Okay, that is why it termed as angle section. So this can be differentiated in two ways, where, see, for angle section, these are the legs. These are termed as legs. Okay. So this, from this diagram, we can understand this is an equal angle. Mean when the legs are equal, when that value and both the legs value are same, so that will be termed as equal angle. Next, this diagram says, see, this, if this is B, then this will be some another value. So both the legs are not similar. That is why this called unequal angle. So this is given in this picture. See, this section also has its root, the root of the radius at root and radius at toe. Similarly, this diagram is given for unequal angle section, where the length of this leg is different from this. This is longer leg and this is shorter leg. This is also termed as longer and shorter leg. You will get to know it in your code, IS 800-2007 code. Okay. So see, as this is not a symmetric section, so just a minute. So the CG distance will lie at this certain point. So I am not going into the explanation of evaluating the CG distance. Okay, so you have, so I will presume that you have learned it in your solid mechanics class, and that distance will also be provided in your IS code. Okay, so from x-axis, the centroidal distance, from that centroidal distance to the end of the section, that is termed as Cx. So why, some of you may ask me that why this is not y, because you will just keep it in your mind that when you will try to find a certain distance or a certain length, then just check that whether that length is standing upon or standing in a perpendicular way to the axis. If the length is standing in this way and this is the axis, say this is z axis, this is z axis, so that distance will be termed as Lz, because this distance is standing in a perpendicular way. Or if you want to get this, you want to achieve this length and this is say y axis, so that length will be termed as Ly, because this distance is standing perpendicularly to the axis. Okay, in this manner you will get the length suffix. Okay, so this is Cx, centroidal distance of the from the x-axis, and this is Ex from the rest part. Okay, and this is Cy, Similarly, see, this is standing upon the y-axis and the rest part to the end is called as EY. Mean the actually the eccentric length from corresponding to the x-axis and eccentric length corresponding to the y-axis. Okay. So the last section, which can be named as T section. See, the corresponding names are Indian Standard Normal T bar, which is termed as ISNT. Next is Indian Standard Deep T bars, which is named as ISDT. Next, Indian Standard Light T bar, which is named as ISLT. Next, Indian Standard Medium T bar. This will be MT, ISMT, and this is Indian Standard Heavy T bars. This is termed as ISHT. So if you can straightly look at the section, this is nothing but an extension, or not extension actually, this is nothing but a part of I section, right? So if we cut the flange I section, we will get a T section. So the width of the flange is termed as B, the total depth is here termed as H, and here the corresponding R1 and R2 will be given in the handbook as well. So here this is our R1, this is our R2. R1 is radius at root and this is radius at toe. And this is the web and the web thickness correspondingly TW, and this is the thickness of flange. This will be termed as TF. This is the half depth h/2 up to this part. See, since this is also not a symmetrical section, so the CG distance will not totally lie at the center of this total section. That center will be go into closer to the flange. Definitely the more weighty or the more area is at this part only, so the CG will try to move up to that part of the section, right? So that CG distance will be somewhat in this place. Okay, so these are some typical section which you need to identify and which you need to study for this subject. So I will describe it a lot more in the next classes. So these are some preliminary thing about these sections. Okay, so do you have any problem regarding today's lecture right until now? You can ask me. Anyone have any problem? Okay, so I think you have understood until now. So let me just call your name one by one. After that, you can leave the class. And thank you for attending.